Hello everyone and welcome back to Chicane, where we, your hosts,
Brinley
and McKenna, put the chic in motorsport.
Our goal is to bring you the latest paddock poll, provide in-depth and unique interviews with fans and your favorite F1 content creators.
And encourage you to learn more about the sport in a fun and innovative way.
We hope you stick around for this week's episode, and if you haven't already, make sure to check out our introduction episode pinned at the top of our page to get to know more about your host.
And with that,
let's get revving.
Woo! So, what are your P1s and DNFs for the week?
I'll go with DNF first. DNF, my mom's out of town. She's at a summer camp with my brother, so it's been really weird trying to, be in the house without my brother and my mom. And, she just called me today, and it's Wednesday, so it's, the first time I've heard from her all week. P1, I got ice cream with some friends last night, and that was really fun. And then I've been trying, a new food schedule, and my body has felt so much more, so much better about it and everything. So I'm enjoying that. So that's
really
probably my P1s. What about you?
That's awesome. Okay. I'll start with a DNF. It's like a P1 and a DNF, but I mentioned last week that we were going camping over the weekend.
Oh.
And it was a lot of fun, but we did not get any sleep, which if you've gone camping, you don't usually get sleep.
Mm-hmm.
But with a baby, it's a lot harder. It was our second time with Ezra.
Mm.
And I ended up just having to take her to the car and put her in her car seat. And then I laid down in the back of the car on the floor to sleep. And I think I probably got an hour of sleep maybe.
Oh.
But yeah.
That's rough.
But on that note, P1 is my husband and I just got a second car.
Mm-hmm.
We've been sharing one car for pretty much since we got married.
Mm-hmm.
And with him going into work, I haven't been able to really get around a lot. So now I can go out and see people and go to the grocery shopping when I need to. So that is a big P1, a huge blessing that happened.
That's awesome to hear. All right, so for this week, we have a race this weekend, but we didn't have a race to talk about from last week. So we'll basically just be talking about the race this weekend and then all of the categories that are racing this weekend. Mm-hmm. So we have F2, F3, Formula 1 Academy, all of them are racing this weekend, so we'll do pre-race predictions for them. So it might be a shorter episode. We'll see how the editing process goes, but as for P1s, I'm in the wrong episode thing. As for Paddock Pulp. Mm-hmm. As for Paddock Pulp, we only have 2, and those are Oliver Behrman from Formula 2 is driving FP1 this weekend for Haas, right?
Yes.
Haas. So that's one thing to look out for. He's done this in the past. They do this at least once a year for the F2 drivers or reserve drivers. So check that out this weekend. And then there was an all-women team racing in Le Mans this weekend.
Yeah, that was really, really fun. If we talked about Le Mans last weekend, I highly recommend going and watching highlights if you didn't watch it. Even if you're not super interested in it or whatever, I highly recommend going looking at it because a lot of crazy stuff happened. There was a driver who broke his foot after at the very beginning of the race and drove the entire race on a broken foot and won. There was a lot of rain, so it kept things super interesting.
Yeah.
There was Richard Hammond from Top Gear, if you've ever watched that show, was there with his daughter, and he did an interview, and they were asking him about women in motorsport, and he was like, I think it's so great, and I think in the next few years, it's not even going to be something that's talked about because it's so normal. Yeah. He was like, my daughter brought me to the race, I didn't bring her. And so, that was really cool just to see that it's going to be less nuance. For, to see women in the space. It's just going to be that makes sense.
I love to see it.
Yeah, I tried to find it to share it to our Instagram, but I couldn't.
All right, if you want to get us started, try and pronounce the track name.
I haven't even looked at it, so I'm learning the full name as I'm going along. Okay, Formula 1. Okay, we're just going to go with Gran Premio de España, Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya, Barcelona.
That was good.
Yeah.
That's good. So for our location, welcome to the 10th round of racing, the leader of a triple header in Formula One. All kinds of racing are headed to Barcelona this weekend in Spain. The Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya is a 4.657 kilometer motorsport racetrack in Montmeló, Barcelona, Catalonia, Spain. That's a lot of words. With long straights and a variety of corners, the Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya is seen as an all-rounder circuit. This is a home race for Fernando Alonso and Carlos Sainz Jr. of F1, Pepe Marti of Formula 2, Nerea Marti, and Maya Woog of F1 Academy.
Yeah. Is it Maya or Maya?
Maya?
Yeah.
I said Maya. Did I not?
My brain heard Maya, and I was like...
my God. My bad. I'm just...
It might have been me.
Words are not working today for me.
It might have been me. Okay, so a little bit more kind of how the drivers feel about this track. The drivers really love Barcelona, this track specifically, which is, hold on, I'm finding my spot, which is just as well because they spend huge amounts of time here during winter testing, and the track is a good mix of high and low speed corners. With the challenging turn 3 right-hander is a great way to evaluate the balance of your car and your team's designs. Yeah.
It was from F1 app, so I just copied and pasted it. So thanks F1 for filling in. As for timing, if you are central timing like we are, the practices on Friday will be at 6:30 to 7:30 a.m. and then 10 to 11 a.m. And then on Saturday, practice 3 is 5:30 to 6:30 a.m. Qualifying is 9 to 10 a.m. And then on the race on Sunday for central timing, it should be 8 a.m. So if you are anywhere outside of central timing, make sure to check the F1 app for accurate timing on the race.
So this circuit is 4.655 kilometers long, which is 2.894 miles. So a tiny bit shorter. Usually they're around 3.5 miles. So we have a couple higher lap count this time around.
We've got 66 laps for this one, 14 turns, 2 DRS zones, and 1 speed trap for this race. Mm-hmm. So I feel like we don't have that many turns either. Like the 10 to 12 range is a little bit slower, smaller when it comes to turns.
Yeah, that could be right.
I don't know.
Because, I don't know. You're looking at her.
The baby is behind the screen eating, and she is a mess. Okay.
It's okay. Okay, the Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya was built as part of the 1992 Barcelona Olympics Development Program. Did we talk about the Olympics?
We did not talk about the Olympics.
Speaking about the Olympics, Charles carried the banner through Monaco for the Paris Olympics. The foundation stone was laid in 1989, while the first car race was a round of the 1991 Spanish Touring Car Championship.
Yeah, so it's been around for a couple of years.
Yeah.
As for our past winner, the last time F1 was specifically at this track in Barcelona, because we've been in the last few years we've been racing in Madrid. They are now in Barcelona, and the last time they were here was in 2019. And our podium was Lewis Hamilton, P1, Valtteri Bottas, P2, and Max Verstappen, P3, with only Lance Stroll and Lando Norris DNFing for that race. So this should be an interesting weekend for all the drivers.
Does this track tend to have lots of DNFs?
I have no idea, because the last time we raced was 2019. Mm-hmm. And before that, I didn't really check.
That was before my time. Before I was into Formula 1, guys. How sad. The lap record here is held by Daniel Ricciardo. He set it in 2018 with 1 minute 18.441 seconds.
Wow.
So, it's good to see him holding on to a little record like that.
Am I crazy?
No.
Now it's saying that we raced at Barcelona last year.
Oh, we were lied to, guys.
My bad. Guess I was doing the research in the wrong place for that one. I did the circuit, and it said the last like I said, 2019 results for the circuit. Because I go through the F1 app to get the most accuracy. And it said there was race results.
Maybe it was just glitching out or something.
Maybe. Max Verstappen, P1, Lewis Hamilton, P2, and Russell, P3, with no DNFs. So that was good. And then Verstappen set the fastest lap at that one, and Tsunoda received a 5-second penalty for forcing another driver off the track. But there was no DNFs, and I think the lap record stays the same.
Okay.
So, sorry about that confusion. Box.
All right. So this fun fact is basically if you've ever kind of wondered about how well the drivers really do know the tracks and how like specific everything is down to like the millimeter and like centimeter. As you might know and have seen the videos, the drivers can like basically tell you what track is being driven by just listening to the audio of the gears shifting.
That's crazy.
So in Senna, one time he crashed in Dallas and he told his engineer that the concrete barriers had moved. He was like, they're not in the same space. And so Tolman, one of his mechanics, goes out and measures. Sure enough, the block Senna hit was millimeters closer than it had been on Saturday.
Wow.
Just a couple millimeters closer, guys. Like, that much of a difference.
Imagine being so good at your job that you can, like, pinpoint the inaccuracy.
Yeah, he was like...
Instead of just being like, oh, I just crashed.
He was like, I had more space there.
Bro, that's crazy.
So that was... I mean, it's just... It, like, blows my mind every time I feel
it. It blows my mind with the, like, audio ones where they're sitting there and they put the headphones on, they listen to an audio track of the car, and, like, I think it was Daniel and Yuki had did it, and they were like, oh, it's the pit lane at blah, blah, blah. And I was like,
yeah.
The specification of where on the track they were at, too, is insane.
Yeah, I mean, couldn't be me.
All right. So now we're going to get into our pre-race predictions for...
She's really excited for this race this weekend.
We're going to get into our pre-race predictions for all of the racing categories.
Yes, this weekend is jam-packed. We have F1, F2, F3, and F1 Academy. So pretty much non-stop action. So anyone who is on the ground at this race, I'm very jealous of you. You're in for a special treat. Oops, I hit the mic. Sorry about that if you're wearing headphones.
All right, so for your hot take of the F1 race.
Hot take. Ooh, okay.
I have one.
I was going to say team collision, but I've said that before, and, like, I don't actually feel it.
Oh, you don't feel it? Okay.
So you would say yours.
Okay. I think we will find out Carlos's seat this weekend. That's my hot take.
Yeah.
Where else would you want to announce it than your home race? So, that's my hot take.
Yeah. I would be so relieved if that happened. Oh my gosh. I'm over kind of this waiting period. Because it's like, it's sad to see a driver that is so deserving of a seat, like, potentially not get a seat.
Yeah.
And there's some other drivers that I think could either, like, they could make their way out.
Yeah.
Not any hate to them or anything.
Yeah.
But it's like...
They could have a successful career outside of F1.
They could go to IndyCar or something else.
Yeah.
And maybe find more success. Okay. I don't know if I really have a hot take.
Okay. Do you have any podium predictions?
Okay, yes. Okay. I'm not going to say any specific order.
Oh.
But, I might say this is probably not a hot take, but Lewis will get, like, mad at Mercedes.
Okay.
Over something.
Interesting.
He's not the kind of guy to, like, go off the script and do his own thing. But I want to say that he will, like, not do what they're telling him to do.
Interesting. So that's your hot take.
So I'm going to say Lewis, podium.
Yes, I agree with that.
Fernando, maybe not podium, but probably top 5.
Ooh.
So I kind of want to go like out there a little bit and say, help me out here. What are you thinking?
I would like to say, for my podium prediction, I am gonna say a Carlos win. I don't know. That like surprised me. I wasn't actually gonna say that originally. So Carlos win, Hamilton, and Oscar on podium.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it.
That's a hot take in itself.
Yeah.
But that's my podium. Carlos win at a home race. Hamilton and Oscar on podium, and I agree with the Fernando top 5.
Okay. I will say I'll also put Carlos on podium because it is his home race. So we have Lewis, Carlos, and then I'll put Max on. But maybe not podium. Just on podium. Those are my podiums. I'm not specifying where they're at.
Okay.
Guys, we're back. Sorry about that.
Just fixing some stuff.
We're just going to get into our DNF predictions now.
Yeah.
So, what do you say?
Being that in 2023 we didn't have any, but a lot of drivers got lapped, I'm going to say 2.
Okay.
A big team and a small team. I'll say that. Maybe they take each other out. Like a small team takes out a big team. Like
right at the beginning or like mid-race?
Mid-race.
Okay.
Full red flag.
Okay.
That's a hot take. I'm so sorry, guys.
That is a prediction.
That's a prediction.
I'm going to hop on your bandwagon a little bit.
Okay.
And say... Okay. 3 cars DNF.
Ooh.
Lights out collision.
Ooh.
Like into turn 1.
Okay.
So I'll say that.
Out. So all 3 go out? Or
no.
just...
And
Okay.
then... the other car is just kind of like a normal, kind of like, oh, we have to retire that car. Whatever.
Okay. So you're
maybe
saying...
they pick up some damage. Maybe... I don't know.
So you're saying you're hopping on with my idea with a big team, little team as the 2. And then that happens at lights out. Mm-hmm. Turn 1.
Yeah. I don't know if I feel big team. I'm like midfield.
Midfield?
Yeah.
Okay. What do we count?
Could be like Lance and someone. Wait, I only said his name because I was thinking a midfield team, and I was thinking Aston Martin, but I was thinking it can't be Fernando. I predicted him on top 5.
Okay.
That's the only reason, guys.
Yeah, I'm not specifying on which team. I don't know what I'm feeling, but I feel like a higher team, maybe not like Red Bull or Ferrari, but like a higher team. Mm-hmm. Maybe Red Bull. Who is that person?
What? Oh, that's just one of Graham's friends.
Okay. Sorry, guys. I got distracted. Okay. So, yeah, that's your DNF predictions.
Yeah.
So, 3.
It would suck if it was really Checo.
That's what I was feeling.
I mean, tough luck, man.
Tough luck. I wonder if he gets any more DNFs this year, if they will, find a way out of the contract or anything.
I'm sure there's a bunch of loopholes that they put in there.
I mean, have you seen all of the McLaren drama in IndyCar?
Oh.
Don't even get me started on that.
Yeah.
All right. So, Formula 2 predictions. If you watch Formula 2, then you know how the race weekend works. They raced here last year, so we have some stuff set up.
Yes. So, last year, the feature race podium was Behrman. I don't know when I'm trying to pronounce this right. Fittipaldi and Martins.
Okay.
And then our sprint race winners, if you don't know, we have an F2 episodes, and F2 does a sprint race and a feature race every weekend. Was Vesti, Portier, and Martins again.
Okay. So on podium twice.
Yes. So the feature race has 37 laps, and the sprint race is 26 laps.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you can take this.
Oh, I'm doing F1 Academy.
Okay. And then our fastest lap record was set by Oliver Behrman last year with 1 minute 23.546 seconds.
Okay. Not that bad.
Which is 5 seconds longer than the Formula One track record, which is actually not that drastic of a difference when you think about the speed of the cars.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
To think about.
That's like maybe a little bit. That's probably the average lap time for an F1 car.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what they do around this track. Okay. So, do you have a hot take for this race?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm gonna say no. I didn't really have
I don't have any strong feelings.
I don't have any strong feelings. Mm-mm.
Okay. So, I don't know if this is what I'm hoping for or what I'm actually predicting, but I'm hoping for just like a smooth feature race.
Okay.
But I think someone's gonna get screwed over by a bad pit stop.
Ooh.
We haven't seen that happen. Well, I mean, we see it happen, but I feel like it hasn't. The only one I can really think of was Bottas this year.
Yeah.
Unless I'm just forgetting something. And then sprint race, I want to see a final lap fight. Like,
That's always
down to the
interesting.
finish line.
That's
So
always the best.
I'm really hoping for that. Alright, and then you guys, you can take your predictions first for podium.
Okay, so my prediction, should I do sprint or feature first?
You can do sprint first.
Okay, so my predictions for the sprint are Pepe Marti, Kimi Antonelli, and Paul Aaron.
Okay, that's actually, I feel like our predictions are fairly similar.
Yeah.
Okay, my sprint race predictions are Marty, Zach Sullivan, and Kimi Antonelli.
Okay. So we have two of the same people on that one.
Yeah.
And then for the feature race, I have Oliver Behrman, Zach Sullivan, and then Enzo Fittipaldi.
Mm-hmm. And then I have Oliver Behrman as well, Paul Aaron, and Taylor Bernard.
Okay.
So
Should be a fun mix-up.
It's fun. Fun little... I really want Oliver to win because he's racing in driving the F1 car this weekend. And so it'll be just like a little... With all the suspicion that he's signed a contract and is joining Haas, I would love for him to kind of build up a little bit more confidence and win some races.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
And whatnot. Oh, I'm looking at myself over there. I should be looking. Hi, guys. Sorry. And then my DNF predictions... I didn't specify any races, but Martins and Cordell.
I could agree with that. I think for the two races, 2 DNFs is like either between the two is good or in one of them. Like,
well, between them is not
good. It's like a
it's like a solid prediction.
Yeah, a solid prediction.
Yeah.
There we go. Not good. I don't want anybody getting injured or their car not finishing. Like, that's not a good thing.
Yeah. You guys know what we mean.
Solid prediction. There we go. All right. So for F1 Academy, we have them racing here in Barcelona as well. Sorry, I'm trying to get to my notes. Last year's results, there was 3 races instead of the 2. So we also did an F1 Academy episode as well. So if you don't know much about it, you can go check that out on our page on Chicane. And we go into detail about how F1 Academy weekend works. But for this season, they dropped the 3rd race. So now they only do 2 races. So just to give you some background. For last year, race 1 winner was Emily De Haas, which she still races in F1 Academy. Race 2 was Amna Albuquerque, and she won as well. She's also in F1 Academy. And then the race 3 winner was Lena Buller. I don't think I'm saying her name correctly, but she also set the fastest lap at 1 minute 40 seconds .870 in 2023 at this track. I don't think she races with us any longer at F1 Academy. As for track, they have 2 separate races at 16 laps with 14 turns. So they're around 30 minutes for each race.
Yeah.
And then do you have any, well, I guess we're getting into podium predictions. There was no DNFs that I'm aware of from that last race.
Okay.
And then podium predictions for race 1.
Okay, for race 1, I have Maya, Chloe Chambers, and Bianca.
Okay. I have Maya as well. I feel very strong. This is, like we said at the beginning of the episode, this is a home race for her and Nerea Marti. So my race 1 prediction is Maya, Amna Albuquerque, and then Abby Pulling.
Yeah.
So, race 2?
Okay, Doran Pin, Abby Pulling, and Leah Block.
Okay. Leah Block has been a hard one for me because I really love her driving and I love to support her.
Yeah.
I haven't seen much results from her though.
Yeah.
So
I'm
I really do
hoping
want to
that
see
she get some momentum behind her.
Yeah, good results this season. For race 2, I had Nerea Marti, Dorian Pin, and Hamda Albuquerque. So both sisters get a podium. Yeah, and I would love for the home race winners to win at their home race. So.
Yeah, it's always really fun to see home wins and just like all the support that they get.
Mm-hmm.
Just such a great time. It's like, oh, what a fun community to be a part of.
Yeah. Do you have any DNF predictions?
I'm going to just say no DNFs.
I'm feeling 1. And I hate this because this is one of your predictions for a podium, but I just feel it. And so I feel like we're going to get a Bianca DNF. I feel like something's going to be... With all the stuff that's happening at McLaren right now and, like, her traveling and then, like, we haven't raced since Miami.
Yeah,
it's like, been a while. I don't know. It's been a while. So I don't know why I'm feeling Bianca, but a Bianca DNF.
Yeah. I mean, I'll cross my fingers and hope it doesn't happen, but...
Yeah.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Okay.
But yeah, that's all of what we've got for ahead of Barcelona. If you haven't checked out, we did part 1 of the Hot Ones Challenge. It's released. McKenna toughed it out and finished it up, and she did great. So it's a
super spicy.
Very spicy and very fun video. So my video is coming soon, so make sure you follow us here on YouTube. Subscribe, comment down below some stuff you'd like to see. We have some behind-the-scenes content coming.
Yeah, there's a lot more YouTube-specific content coming.
Yes.
That's like, you guys won't be able to see just if you listen to this podcast on Spotify or something.
Or Apple, yeah.
Yeah. So make sure to subscribe to us over there to stay
keep
updated.
Up with that. Yeah. And if you follow us through like Spotify, Apple, and or YouTube, you should follow us on Instagram and TikTok, because TikTok we do more funny like shorts or whatever, and then Instagram we're always updating everything across all platforms. So anytime there's an announcement, Instagram finds it first. So
there's a lot more personality stuff on those platforms, which is really fun.
Yeah. So you should definitely follow us on those, and they are in the bio down below, so you can check those out really easily.
Yeah, thanks for listening. We hope you liked this week's episode, and just don't forget to stay glued to your TV this weekend. There's so much stuff happening.
We were like trying to figure out the timing for all the races, because F2 and F3 and Formula Academy don't have apps, so they don't tell us what time, the accurate timing or whatever. We were figuring out, and like half the races this weekend are like 1 a.m., 4 a.m.
Yeah, it's so rough.
So we'll probably be watching a lot of stuff in the day of the races. So,
all right, well,
yeah,
we won't keep you any longer. And here's our checkered flag.